Hi, good morning. I'm Karen Sullivan, and this is my husband,
Frank Knapp.
and we're the parents of Mia. And we adopted Mia from a website, and we drove to Kentucky and picked her up, and I saw her picture. She's a snowshoe Manx, and it means Siamese heel point markings with four white boots and a white triangle around her face. However, the breeder dropped her off at this rescue center because she only has half a white triangle.
The rescue center name was Hal's Haven, and I think they do excellent work. And one of the things we wanted to do was adopt it rather a pet, a cat, rather than buy from a breeder. So we looked all around, and
Right, and
Karen just fell in love with Mia's picture.
yeah, she looked like very inquisitive and just like she had a lot of energy. However, we do think after having Mia in our lives for about 4 years now. She was a year something when we adopted her. She's had a lot of medical issues. We think maybe that was because maybe they took her away from her mom too young. She didn't get enough, immunities from the natural milk or something. But she had ear infections, eye infections, and then finally she was diagnosed with cancer. Her whole right side of her body wall was swollen and she had a fever. So they gave her some antibiotics and he felt a mass and he said, "Now, I don't want to say this is cancer, but, let's see when the swelling goes down what we can see." So we waited about 4 days. That was a Monday. We brought her back in on Friday. After the antibiotics, she was on the antibiotics and she was feeling better. A lot of the swelling had gone down and he could still feel the mass. And it was a Friday and we both had off and he said, "Can you take her to the oncologist? Can you take her to Dr. Phillips?" So we said yes, and he called Dr. Phillips, and we rushed over there. And you go ahead.
He said it was a fairly large tumor, that they had to take some other test. And
Right, yeah.
what did they have to?
He did I think an ultrasound that day, and then I don't know about it. I think an MRI, and then he didn't do a CAT scan or a CT scan until we returned. So what he wanted to know is how bad the cancer was and where it was in her body, and so if he could suggest surgery. So he called me back and told me on the phone that she wasn't a candidate for surgery because he would have to amputate her right behind leg and it was take off most of her body wall. I felt sorry for Dr. Phillips because I was bawling on the phone, but we said, "We're just like down the street. We're going to come back and talk to you." So we went back and talked to him, and my friend, she has cats. And so we just said no, that, sorry. It's a quality of life that we wanted to consider for her. And we had pet insurance, so he suggested chemotherapy and hyperthermia, which he helped develop when he was at the University of Tennessee. So he believed in hypothermia, and along with the chemotherapy, he was hoping that, she could recover and have a good quality of life.
Or at least my goal, and when I've heard this, I was pretty much of the mind that she was not going to make it. I mean, the cancer was a very large cancer. It seemed very aggressive. Surgery,
It's a large tumor.
Large tumor. The surgery didn't seem an option. Everything I've read on chemo, the cats respond very well to chemo. I mean, they don't get as sick as maybe humans do, I guess. But I didn't think she was going to have much of a chance to survive. But my goal for her was just one more spring and summer. Just one, get out and smell the flowers, like I said she likes to do, and walk down the lake and follow Karen up to the mailbox. Just one more spring and summer. So that was my goal. And so probably after the third treatment, I became more encouraged, because after the third treatment, I think that's when they started seeing the tumor really shrink quite a bit. And so that was very good news.
And then it got to be about the pea size, like second to last treatment. And then we did the fifth treatment, and last time we brought her to Dr. Phillips, he said it's totally gone, that it's not palpable at all. Right now, for her quality of life, has a lot of energy. She eats really well, although she's really thin, probably because of the cancer, I don't know. But it seems like she's a very happy and adjusted cat right now. Lately, she's been sleeping in her laps at night, so that's really unusual for her. She still doesn't like to be picked up, though. So she's she's a really cute, and she taught herself how to, climb up a tree and back down it, so she has all kinds of tricks. She's very entertaining. So we're happy that she's still around right now. And we would recommend the Emergency Care Center, Dr. Phillips as the oncologist, and the hyperthermia treatment in conjunction with the chemotherapy we think was very beneficial.